Nissan is on the verge of collapse, and it's creating some of the biggest car discounts in history. Right now, dealerships are desperate to offload inventory, slashing prices by up to 50% on some of its models. But here's the shocking part. This fire sale could be a trap. With factories shutting down and buyout rumors swirling, the future of Nissan is more uncertain than ever. If you're in the market for a car, this could be your best chance to grab a brand new Nissan for thousands off, or it could leave you stuck with a car no one wants to buy later. In this video, we're diving deep into what led to Nissan's downfall, what happens next, and the hidden risks you need to know before making a move. Stick around because some of these details will shock you. What's happening? Nissan, once a dominant force in the automotive industry, is now on the brink of collapse. The company that gave the world the Nissan Altima, the rugged Pathfinder, and the legendary GTR is now struggling to stay afloat. Its financial freefall has been nothing short of catastrophic, with profits plummeting by over 90%. This isn't just a minor setback, it's a full-blown crisis that has left dealerships desperate to clear inventory, slashing prices in a bid to stay afloat. For years, Nissan was known for producing affordable, reliable, and innovative vehicles, competing head-to-head with giants like Toyota and Honda. But today, Nissan's name is associated with mismanagement, outdated technology, and declining sales. While rivals have evolved and adapted, Nissan has been stuck in place, losing the trust of both customers and investors. This has led to a situation where thousands of unsold cars are piling up at dealerships, forcing dealers to offer some of the biggest discounts in automotive history. For car buyers, this bankruptcy crisis presents an unusual opportunity. With dealerships looking to offload vehicles as quickly as possible, consumers can find massive price cuts on brand new Nissans. Some dealerships are offering as much as 50% off on certain models. The Nissan Rogue, for example, which was once priced at $28,000, is now being listed at just $17,000 in some locations. The Nissan Altima, once a solid competitor in the mid-size sedan market, has seen its price slashed from $25,000 to as low as $12,000. But while these discounts might seem like an incredible deal, there's a catch, and a potentially costly one. If Nissan fails to recover from this crisis, its vehicles could plummet in resale value, making them risky long-term investments. If Nissan cuts back on operations, future repairs and warranty claims could become a nightmare. Before jumping on these discounts, let's talk about how Nissan got here in the first place, and whether this crisis is truly an opportunity for buyers or a warning sign to stay away. The company's decline was not sudden. It was the result of years of bad decisions, poor leadership, and strategic missteps. Its downfall can be traced back to a series of fundamental errors, each compounding the damage over time. Once a company that pioneered electric vehicles with the Nissan Leaf, Nissan is now struggling to keep up with the rapidly changing automotive landscape. One of Nissan's biggest mistakes was its failure to modernize its vehicle lineup. While Toyota and Honda continued to evolve, offering cutting-edge hybrid and electric options, Nissan's models remained stagnant. Vehicles like the Nissan Altima, Sentra, and Pathfinder saw minimal updates over the years, making them less appealing to modern buyers. Instead of leading the charge in innovation, Nissan fell behind, failing to capture the interest of a new generation of drivers. Compounding this issue was a dramatic decline in vehicle quality. Nissan's once strong reputation for reliability and affordability began to erode as customers reported increasing problems with their vehicles. The company's continuously variable transmissions became a major point of frustration for drivers, leading to frequent breakdowns, high repair costs, and long-term reliability concerns. Nissan's refusal to address these issues led to a massive drop in consumer confidence as buyers started looking elsewhere for vehicles that would last. Adding fuel to the fire was one of the biggest scandals in modern automotive history, the Carlos Ghosn fiasco. Ghosn, who was once Nissan's visionary leader, was arrested in 2018 on charges of financial misconduct. His dramatic escape from Japan and subsequent media frenzy shattered Nissan's corporate image, exposing internal instability and a lack of clear leadership. In the wake of his departure, Nissan struggled to find direction, leading to disorganized strategies and inconsistent decision-making. Without a strong leader at the helm, the company drifted further into financial instability, setting the stage for its current crisis. Perhaps Nissan's biggest strategic blunder was its over-reliance on fleet sales. Instead of focusing on individual customers, Nissan began selling massive amounts of vehicles to rental car companies and corporate fleets. While this helped inflate short-term sales numbers, it came at a massive long-term cost. Fleet sales typically result in lower profits per vehicle, and once these rental cars flood the used market, resale values plummet. This created a vicious cycle, where Nissan's cars were seen as cheap, disposable, and not worth investing in. Over time, real customers stopped considering Nissan altogether, further deepening the company's financial troubles. With declining quality, poor leadership, and a failed sales strategy, Nissan found itself in a downward spiral that it couldn't escape from. While other brands strengthened their market position, Nissan was left scrambling for solutions. The result? A historic collapse in market share that left Nissan struggling to survive. These mistakes combined to create a perfect storm for Nissan, but the real tipping point came when its competitors overtook it in nearly every category. At its peak, Nissan was a powerhouse in the automotive industry, competing on equal footing with Toyota and Honda. But in the past few years, Nissan's market share has shrunk dramatically, dropping by over 30%. Toyota has remained at the top by leading the hybrid revolution, with models like the Toyota RAV4 Hybrid and the Prius becoming industry standards. Honda, meanwhile, has focused on long-term reliability, keeping cars like the Honda CR-V and Accord among the most trusted vehicles on the road. Nissan, on the other hand, has struggled to define its identity, failing to offer compelling alternatives to these market leaders. Perhaps the most painful aspect of Nissan's decline is the rise of Hyundai and Kia, two brands that were once considered budget-friendly underdogs. Hyundai in particular has been aggressively expanding its market presence, offering vehicles that outclass Nissan in design, technology, and reliability. The Hyundai Tucson and Kia Sportage have completely outshined the Nissan Rogue, while the Hyundai Sonata and Kia K5 have pushed the Altima out of the mid-size sedan spotlight. But Nissan's biggest failure has been its lack of true innovation. While other automakers have embraced electric and hybrid technology, Nissan has been slow to adapt. The Nissan Leaf, which was once a pioneering electric vehicle, has failed to evolve, falling behind competitors like Tesla's Model 3, the Ford Mustang Mach-E, and Hyundai's Ioniq series. Instead of building on its early lead in electrification, Nissan lost momentum, allowing other brands to take over. As Nissan faces one of the biggest financial collapses in automotive history, something almost unbelievable is happening. In a desperate attempt to stay afloat, Nissan dealerships are offering some of the biggest car discounts we have ever seen. Cars that once sold for full price just a year ago are now being marked down by as much as 50%. With thousands of vehicles sitting unsold on dealership lots, Nissan is in full-blown crisis mode, and car buyers willing to take advantage of the situation could walk away with the deal of a lifetime. However, not all deals are worth taking, and buying a car from a struggling company comes with serious risks. Before you rush to grab a bargain, you need to know which Nissan models are actually worth buying, how to negotiate the best price, and whether these short-term savings are worth the long-term consequences. Right now, Nissan dealerships across the country are slashing prices like never before. In some cases, brand new vehicles are being sold for nearly half their original price. These are not just slow-selling, outdated models. Some of Nissan's most popular vehicles are seeing the steepest markdowns. Take the Nissan Altima, for example. This mid-size sedan, which typically sells for $26,000, is now available at some dealerships for as low as $14,000. That is a massive $12,000 discount on a brand new car. Similarly, the Nissan Rogue, one of the brand's best-selling SUVs, has had its price cut from $29,000 to around $17,000. These extreme discounts are a direct result of Nissan's urgent need for cash. With profits down by over 90%, the company has stopped supporting dealerships with incentives, meaning individual dealers are taking matters into their own hands. With Nissan dealers struggling, buyers who are willing to play hardball can walk away with an incredible deal. However, just because a car is cheap does not mean it is worth buying. Some Nissan models are much riskier than others, and knowing which ones to target is critical. While Nissan's entire lineup is being heavily discounted, not all models are worth considering. Some vehicles have a history of reliability issues, while others are outdated compared to the competition. That said, there are a few models that, at the right price, could actually be smart buys. One of the best models to consider is the Nissan Rogue. As a compact SUV, it offers decent fuel economy, a comfortable ride, and practical features. It may not be the most exciting SUV on the market, but with discounts of up to 40%, it is one of the best value deals available. Another solid option is the Nissan Altima, a mid-size sedan that offers good fuel efficiency and a smooth driving experience. Given that some dealerships are selling it for as low as $14,000, it is one of the cheapest new sedans available right now. For buyers looking for a small, affordable car, the Nissan Sentra is worth considering. With prices dipping below $15,000, it is one of the most budget-friendly cars on the market. However, not every Nissan model is a good deal. The Nissan Pathfinder, for example, has a well-documented history of reliability issues, particularly with its problematic transmission. Similarly, the Nissan Titan, Nissan's attempt at a full-size truck, has been a commercial failure, meaning resale values are likely to plummet. Even at a heavy discount, it is not worth the risk. Sports car fans might be tempted by the Nissan Z, especially with the huge price cuts. While it is a fun car to drive, its long-term reliability is questionable, making it a risky investment. Knowing which models are worth considering is only part of the equation. The biggest question is whether buying a Nissan right now is actually a good idea in the first place. While massive discounts make Nissan's vehicles tempting, there are serious risks that buyers need to consider. One of the biggest concerns is warranty coverage. If Nissan goes bankrupt, warranties could become worthless, leaving owners on the hook for repairs that could cost thousands. While some third-party warranty companies may step in, getting service and replacement parts could become a major headache. Another huge risk is resale value. If Nissan collapses entirely, its vehicles will likely see a dramatic drop in resale prices, meaning buyers could lose thousands when it comes time to sell or trade in their car. For buyers who plan to keep their cars for many years, these risks may not matter as much. However, if you plan to resell or trade in your Nissan within a few years, it might be a financial disaster waiting to happen. So, is this a golden opportunity to get a great deal, or is Nissan's collapse a warning to stay away? Nissan was once at the forefront of the electric vehicle revolution. Over a decade ago, it introduced the Nissan Leaf, one of the first mass-market electric vehicles to hit the global market. At the time, this move seemed revolutionary. The Leaf was affordable, practical, and offered an alternative to gasoline-powered cars. Yet, despite its early lead, Nissan failed to capitalize on the momentum it created. While companies like Tesla, Ford, and Hyundai rapidly advanced their electric vehicle technology, Nissan remained stagnant. So, how did Nissan lose a race it once led? The biggest mistake Nissan made was failing to innovate fast enough. While Tesla was pushing the boundaries with longer-range batteries, advanced self-driving technology, and a dedicated charging network, Nissan let the Leaf stagnate. The model saw only minor updates, with battery improvements that lagged behind industry standards. By the time Nissan introduced its next major electric vehicle, the Ariya SUV, it was already years behind the competition. Tesla had already perfected long-range battery technology, and Ford was making headlines with its F-150 Lightning and Mustang Mach-E. Hyundai, meanwhile, launched the Ioniq 5 and Kona EV, which quickly became customer favorites due to their cutting-edge features and efficiency. Another major problem was Nissan's reluctance to embrace hybrids. While Toyota aggressively expanded its hybrid lineup, seamlessly blending fuel efficiency with electrification, Nissan bet everything on full battery-powered vehicles. This turned out to be a fatal miscalculation. The market for hybrids exploded, with consumers preferring the flexibility of gasoline-electric models. Toyota's hybrid strategy helped it maintain strong sales, while Nissan struggled to sell electric vehicles that lacked competitive range and infrastructure support. Now, with Nissan's bankruptcy looming, its electric vehicle ambitions are uncertain at best and doomed at worst. The company lacks the financial resources to compete with Tesla's charging network, Ford's aggressive electrification push, and Hyundai's advanced battery technology. Nissan's failure to secure its spot in the electric future means it may never recover the market share it once held. And as Nissan's electric vehicle future fades, its dealerships are facing an even more immediate crisis. Nissan's financial collapse isn't just affecting its corporate headquarters, it is devastating dealerships across the country. For many Nissan dealerships, sales have plummeted, inventory is piling up, and service departments are struggling to stay afloat. As a result, we are seeing an unprecedented wave of dealership closures that is sending shockwaves through the automotive industry. Reports indicate that dozens of Nissan dealerships in the United States have already shut down, with more expected to follow. Some dealers are abandoning the Nissan brand altogether in favor of selling used vehicles or switching to more profitable brands like Toyota, Honda, and Hyundai. The problem is simple. Nissan dealerships are running out of ways to make money. One of the biggest challenges these dealerships face is unsold inventory. Many Nissan dealerships have parking lots filled with vehicles they cannot move, forcing them to offer deep discounts just to clear space. However, even at record low prices, buyers are hesitant. Why? Because consumers know that buying from a struggling automaker comes with major risks. Who will honor the warranty if the company goes under? Will replacement parts still be available in a few years? These uncertainties are enough to push buyers toward more stable brands. The situation is even worse for Nissan's service centers. Traditionally, dealerships rely on their service departments for a steady stream of income. But as Nissan vehicles become less popular, fewer customers are bringing their cars in for maintenance and repairs. To make matters worse, many dealerships that remain open are struggling to get parts, leading to longer wait times and customer frustration. For those who already own a Nissan, these dealership closures are a major concern. If your local Nissan dealership shuts down, where will you take your car for warranty service? Independent mechanics might be able to handle basic repairs, but major repairs could become a nightmare if Nissan's supply chain collapses. As Nissan's dealership network shrinks at an alarming rate, the impact is not just being felt in the United States. The ripple effect is going global. While Nissan's troubles are most visible in the United States, the crisis extends far beyond American borders. As Japan's second-largest automaker, Nissan's financial collapse has major implications for the entire global car market. The company has production facilities, suppliers, and business partnerships across multiple continents. And if Nissan falls, the impact could be devastating. Japan's auto industry is already feeling the effects. Toyota and Honda remain strong, but Nissan's downfall has damaged Japan's reputation as a leader in the car industry. For years, Japanese automakers were seen as the gold standard for reliability and efficiency. But now, with Nissan facing financial ruin, investors and consumers alike are questioning the stability of Japan's car manufacturers. If Nissan fails completely, it could drag down the entire Japanese auto sector and put thousands of jobs at risk. Beyond Japan, the European and Chinese markets are also being affected. In Europe, Nissan has been rapidly losing market share to Volkswagen, Renault, and Hyundai. With its future uncertain, European Nissan dealerships and factories could soon face major shutdowns. Meanwhile, in China, the world's largest auto market, Nissan is struggling to compete against aggressive local brands like BYD and Geely, both of which have surged ahead in the electric vehicle race. Perhaps the most concerning aspect of Nissan's collapse is the domino effect it could trigger. When a major automaker goes bankrupt, it doesn't just affect that company, it sends shockwaves through the entire industry. Nissan's failure could cause suppliers to shut down, parts shortages to increase, and job losses to spread across multiple sectors. Could Nissan's downfall set off a chain reaction that pulls other struggling automakers down with it? Some experts believe so. If Nissan disappears, smaller automakers, especially those with weak EV strategies, could be next. The industry is already in a period of massive change, and Nissan's collapse could be just the beginning of a much larger shakeup. Nissan is at a critical crossroads, and its future could go in one of two directions: a miraculous comeback or a total collapse. The company has faced significant financial struggles, declining sales, and an alarming loss of market share. However, history has shown that some automakers have managed to claw their way back from the brink. Take General Motors in 2009, for example. The company declared bankruptcy, but managed to restructure its operations, reduce costs, and emerge stronger. Through a government bailout and aggressive cost-cutting, General Motors not only survived, but regained its position as one of the top car manufacturers in the world. Could Nissan follow the same playbook and pull off an equally impressive turnaround? Some industry analysts believe it is possible. Nissan's new leadership team is already implementing drastic measures, including cost reductions, workforce downsizing, and a shift towards electrification. The company has also announced plans to refresh its vehicle lineup, with 7 new models expected to be launched in the next 2 years. These efforts could help revive consumer interest and bring Nissan back from the edge. However, there is a darker scenario that experts fear: a complete collapse. Unlike General Motors, Nissan does not have the same level of government backing to cushion the blow of bankruptcy. Additionally, the intense competition from brands like Toyota, Hyundai, and Tesla could make it difficult for Nissan to regain its footing. If Nissan fails to turn things around quickly, it could be forced to exit key markets, shut down manufacturing plants, or even dissolve entirely. This brings us to an interesting alternative: leasing instead of buying. With Nissan's future hanging in the balance, many potential buyers are hesitant to commit to owning a car from a struggling automaker. What if the company goes bankrupt and warranty support disappears? What if resale values plummet even further? These are valid concerns, but there is a way to enjoy the discounts without the long-term risk: leasing. Leasing a Nissan right now could be one of the smartest financial moves you can make. Unlike buying, where you are responsible for depreciation, a lease allows you to return the car at the end of the term with no financial hit if Nissan's value drops. This means you can take advantage of Nissan's historically low lease rates without worrying about the long-term risks of ownership. Another key advantage of leasing is that most leases last 3 to 4 years, meaning your car will likely remain under warranty for the duration of your lease. If Nissan goes under, you won't be stuck with an unsupported vehicle or unexpected repair costs. Additionally, if Nissan manages to recover, you could choose to buy the car at a bargain price when the lease ends. For those who want to take advantage of Nissan's massive discounts but don't want to gamble on ownership, leasing presents the perfect middle ground. With Nissan's inventory stacking up and dealerships struggling to move vehicles, many buyers are wondering if prices will drop even further. Could waiting another few months lead to even steeper discounts? Or is now the best time to buy before these deals disappear? Historically, when automakers face financial difficulties, they slash prices aggressively to clear out inventory. However, once supply drops and dealerships start closing, those fire sale discounts tend to disappear. Nissan is already cutting production, which means fewer cars will be available in the coming months. As supply tightens, prices could stabilize or even increase. Another factor to consider is that Nissan dealerships are already beginning to shut down. Some Nissan dealerships may not survive the next year, meaning fewer places to find these deep discounts. Once inventory starts running out, dealerships will no longer have the pressure to offer extreme markdowns. Additionally, competing automakers like Toyota, Honda, and Hyundai are adjusting their strategies to capture Nissan's market share. If Nissan's recovery efforts stall, it could become harder for them to sustain heavy discounts. This means that while prices are incredibly low now, they may not drop much further before they start climbing again. For buyers who need a car now, waiting could be a risky move. The current deals are historically rare, and if Nissan manages to stabilize, these deep discounts could vanish overnight. However, if you don't need a car urgently, it may be worth monitoring dealership incentives over the next 3 to 6 months to see if prices drop even further. Nissan is in uncharted territory, and the next few months will determine its fate. Whether it recovers like General Motors, gets bought out by a tech giant or a foreign automaker, or collapses entirely, the automotive industry is watching closely. For car buyers, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to grab a massively discounted Nissan, but the window is closing fast. Will you take advantage of the deals before they disappear? Or will you wait and risk missing out on some of the best car discounts in years? What do you think will happen to Nissan? Will it survive, merge, or vanish altogether? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and let's discuss the future of this once iconic brand.